Welcome. Today, we're diving into the fascinating world of prefixoids, those catchy word elements like super, mega, and nano that shape how we talk about technology, trends, and culture online. Over the past few decades, the Russian internet language has seen a boom in words built with these prefixes. But what's driving their popularity? And how have their meanings and uses shifted from the 1990s to today? Let's explore how these tiny building blocks reflect big changes in society, technology, and the way we express ourselves online. Prefixoids are unique elements in word formation. Unlike traditional prefixes, they often come from standalone words and retain their original meaning, making them more like roots than simple modifiers. In Russian, prefixoids such as auto, video, nano, and super are used to create new words, especially in the fast-evolving language of the internet. They help us name new concepts, express emotions, and even mark cultural shifts. Understanding prefixoids gives us insight into how language adapts to new realities and technologies. The internet has become a playground for linguistic creativity. Russian blogs and online media like the influential Lenta.ru have not only reflected but also shaped language trends. For example, the playful term mimimicking, meaning a warm, friendly protest, was coined by Lenta.ru staff and quickly caught on in online communities. This shows how internet platforms can both mirror and drive linguistic innovation, making them perfect sources for studying how prefixoids evolve and spread. Data from the 1990s and 2000s revealed dramatic shifts in prefixoid usage. Words built with video, auto, nano, and media have surged, reflecting technological advances and new cultural priorities. For instance, as video content became easier to create and share, video derivatives exploded in number. Meanwhile, super and mini, once dominant, have seen their popularity wane, replaced by trendier or more precise alternatives. These changes highlight how language mirrors the changing landscape of technology and society. A fascinating rivalry has emerged between super and mega as expressive intensifiers. While super dominated in the 1990s, mega has gained ground in the 2000s, especially for new, emotionally charged words. For example, supercomputer remains the standard technical term, but megacomputer pops up as a playful exaggeration. In established words like superstar, the older prefix still rules, but for newer concepts like megacorporation, mega often wins. This competition shows how speakers seek ever stronger ways to express scale and excitement. Prefixoid nano has become a star in its own right, especially as technology shrinks and miniaturizes. Originally technical, nano now appears in playful, ironic, and even satirical contexts, think nano party or nano nation. It often forms a trio with super and mega, creating word families like nanoproject, superproject, and megaproject. This not only reflects advances in science but also the internet's love for creative, sometimes humorous wordplay. Not all prefixoids have thrived. Mini and hyper have lost ground in recent years. Mini is now mostly found in established terms like miniskirt or minibus, while hyper rarely competes with super or mega for expressive power. In fact, hyper often gets overshadowed by the similarly sounding cyber, especially in tech contexts. This shift shows how language users gravitate toward prefixes that feel fresh, relevant, and impactful. Prefixoids don't just reflect technology, they capture cultural moods and shifts. The rise of media and mirrors the explosion of multimedia and multitasking in our lives. The playful, ironic use of nano and the emotional punch of mega show how language adapts to express both the seriousness and the humor of modern life. By tracking these trends, we see how language evolves alongside our changing world, always finding new ways to capture what matters most. To sum up, the story of prefixoids in Russian internet language is one of constant change and creativity. As technology and culture evolve, so do the words we use to describe them. Super, mega, and nano are more than just linguistic tools, they're markers of our times, reflecting everything from technological breakthroughs to social trends and even internet humor. As new needs and innovations arise, expect even more inventive prefixoids to emerge, keeping language as dynamic as the world it describes.